auch der größte Abnehmer von Sextoys in ganz Deutschland und mit ihm zusammen ist sein, ich würde sagen, ja, es ist eigentlich sein
Do you mean my voice got deeper? I just had some issues with my OBS. That's all. Why isn't she? Maybe I should plug my tablet in. You heard some? Yeah, that was some stream. instead of showing me the chat in OBS, it started playing some German guy's stream. I don't know why. I had to refresh it. Weird shit, right? I don't know why it did that, but it did it anyways. Yeah. Are you looking forward to the strokes, Blue? The 20,000 brush strokes. Would be shocking if my voice would sound like that. More clothes. I simply put on a blanket because that's literally how I'm sitting in my chair right now. Gotta keep it realistic, you know. Yeah, exactly, Blue. 2,000 for one line. And I can't sit like a normal human being when I'm drawing. Not like I ever sit like a normal human being. But obviously, no, I'm not. I'm a demon. I have horns. It's the same. It was so awkward today when I had the job interview thingy. Because I didn't know how to sit on my chair and I didn't want to move around so much. It was really weird. Very much weird. Also decided to put a playlist today for streaming instead of just the same song going in loop. Let's see. How did you guys do? How was the job? Did you get fired yet? Forced to find a new job? I missed 2 pixels. Where? I didn't miss any pixels. What do you want from me? Telling me what I missed. You missed your entire life, man. I missed this roasting people life. Sunday is Chess's turn to roast me while playing games. Being too stupid to find ways out again. There were actually so many things that I had in mind that I could like mention on stream, but my head is so empty today, I feel weird. I just... Oops. The lazy move right there. Ah, no, never mind. Wrong layer. Actually wanted to have the liner done by the time I stream, but somehow stuff always got in my way, so I didn't get very far. Oopsie. But oh well. I don't know, maybe I gonna pause this stream once we have dinner and continue it after that and just keep drawing until I don't know what time. Or maybe I just won't do that. No idea yet. I do not know the answer to that question. Besides my internet failing me all the time, I actually missed it so much. I got kind of bored when I couldn't stream. Did not expect to enjoy this so much. I'm more anxious about my internet not working than I am about streaming for people. Possibly strangers, not just my friends. I mean, a benefit about art streams is even if I DC, you literally miss nothing at all. Just a few strokes. It makes a part of the conversation, but that doesn't really matter. I seem to lag a little bit. Actually, I need to plug in my charger. Where's the hole? I can't find the hole. Good thing I'm female. Oh, where is it? I can't find it. I found it. Nice. Nice. Found the hole. I hate when this happens. Stupid shit. I mean, I guess it's kind of disappointing as well if you're lesbian or something, but oh no. But I didn't merge those layers yet. Rita, did you watch Violet Evergarden? No? Okay, never mind then. I don't know. The issue with songs is I would turn anything on, but I'm scared about like copyright claims. I don't want to anger people. If it's a non-problematic song, I don't mind, but I just looked up for something, anything that basically isn't, oops, problematic. Just like me. Oh. Well, no, I'm problematic. Never mind. I'm like a copyrighted song, I'm problematic. Ma! Sleep is on the way. Like, preferably I would like play probably game music in the background, but I don't want to run into trouble. Even more so because I upload those videos on YouTube after streaming on Twitch, and there is no point in uploading them on YouTube if they're gonna end up getting removed because of the music. Hi, I'm too stupid to talk. Favorite demon kitsune? I'm a little weird today. It's been a weird day somehow. How about you? I read you streamed for like 10 hours. I left after 2, I believe. Like insane. I'm too old for that. I can't do that anymore. My bones would kill me. My old bones. My grandma body. I'm glad you're happy. I saw you had like, I don't know, sometimes you had like up to 12 people, I believe. Oopsie. Well, nothing is wrong with me today, was just... First I had my job interview. Forgot the word for a second. At like 9 AM in the morning. Which stressed me because I have a routine. And I had to somehow manage to do that and be right on time for the interview. 10 AM for you right now, it's 7 PM for me. I must say I never heard about mountain time. You should write ocean time next time. Deep down in the ocean where you live. It's all nice and bubbly. It's like I had to Google if mountain time is even a real thing. I was like, what is that? I never heard of that. Literally never heard of it. I mean, technically, but yeah, my day was okay. The only thing that is depressing, like they told me they need a week to consider because basically they are full. And this job that I'm getting at the moment is supposed to be I'm an intern basically. I only work for 20 weeks or something. And they are actually full, but they have nothing against taking me. They just have to check where they can put me. And possibly I have to wait for quite a while until they can take me in. And if that's the case, I have to talk with my profs. Yeah, and then I have to figure out how the fuck do I get there, because it's in a city and I don't live there. I have to get there. And I don't like being away from my kitty cats for so long. It's basically half a year. Yeah, that's... I hope you get a better offer in the future. It's not nice. I don't envy anyone who has to work at nighttime. It's really bad. Also fucks up your sleep schedule. Not nice. Hope you get something else at some point. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining about the time and stuff, but I take what I get. You don't. Shut up, Blue. You hate your job. How many times did you rant to me how much you actually hate your job and you wanna quit it, but you don't because you're too scared to make the step and find a job you actually like? You spend so much time on there. It's important to find something that you don't absolutely hate. So, Rita, you too. You hate your job as well. Come on. But for you it's more understandable. You can't really get a better paid one. Thank you. It's actually a gift for another VTuber. I don't believe I will hate my job, honestly. I don't pick things I don't like, Blue. If I don't like something, I drop it. Simple as that. I don't like being forced to do things I don't enjoy. I've done that too often in my life already. So many lines! Did I ever mention that I hate line art? I believe I did. What is this? I would really like to do something on Halloween, but I really don't know what. Everyone is doing something, so it's like not even... whenever that's the case, I'm like, it's not even a good idea to do something because a lot of people have favorite streamers and they want to see those. So I feel like adding up to that is a bad idea because you don't want to make people feel bad because they can't show up for everyone. So I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to do. Which side was that? Everything erased, that is supposed to be. I suppose it is. Okay. That's the line art. Now I need to... Get something nice. Breakfast is important. If I skip my breakfast, I feel shit for the rest of the day. Tried it a few times. Can't go without breakfast. Itch. What? Where did it go? Shit. It's dinner time. Bit late for dinner time. Early, I mean, for you if it's 10 a.m. Or was it p.m.? Sure. Technically speaking, those ribbons should be behind the ear. It makes no sense that they are in front of the ear. Makes no sense, girl. Sorry. Should be behind. How are they in front? That makes no sense. The horn is behind. Makes no sense. I gonna put them behind. Makes no sense. Shouldn't be in front. Oopsie. I'm actually excited to see your model when it's moving. Like I remember when I made my why can't I talk today? When I made my model. Actually, do the I controlled myself to not draw the eyes until stream, which was really hard for me to do. Always have to do them first because they are the most fun part. Actually, hope I get further with this picture than I did with the last one. Because I don't even know when we're gonna have dinner. And yes, I have a fucking file for how I draw eyes, because even though it's my art style, I tend to forget how to draw eyes. Makes no sense, but okay. I'm a no-brainer. You have normal eyes, right? Yes. Did I... kind of, not really though. Just kind of sketched them. Thanks. Okay. Bye. I mean, my model was basically my first one. I was scared of starting it because I was so worried that I will mess up. Since the first time you purchase what was the program called? Live 2D. You get a 41 days free trial or something. It's a really weird amount of time, but it's really nice that it's more than a month. And I believe I finished my model within a week. But I only managed that because I was literally working on it almost 24/7 every day. That's the only reason why I was so fast. And after that I made my best friend's model, my waifu. And it took me longer, but not just because it has a lot more detail and stuff, but also because I couldn't work on it 24/7 like I had the time for it on mine. So yeah. I mean, I'm happy with how mine turned out. It's more like a... In the future I wanna make new versions for it. Like new clothes. And I want to improve my rigging once I make those. Looking forward to that actually. The benefit of learning how to do it yourself is you don't have to pay money. Unless like 20 euros for like the a dollar, I don't know how much it was, for the premium version. That's quite nice actually. So yeah. I mean, for the rigging part, you don't need to be able to draw for yourself. I need to take off my jacket, too warm. It's actually not that hard to use Live 2D. What exact color? It's blue. It's kind of a blue color. For the drawing, yeah. I mean, in my case, I used to hate my art in the past. Oopsie. But now I actually by now I actually really like my art. Like, I'm confident in it. I even use it as desktop wallpapers by now. Wouldn't have ever done that in the past, never. But now I am. And I like it. It was like, since I can draw and I kind of like my art style, why not make my own model, right? if I can afford it. I know there are so many people out there that would love to be able to draw. If I could, I would probably even give my talent to them. Because to me, it's like often I'm like, there's nothing really special about me. The only thing I'm decently good at is art. But hey, since I got that talent, why not make a few gifts for people and make them a little bit happier, right? That was the wrong button, you stupid bitch. Am I still? What am I? Ah, okay. I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. I'm a stupid little idiot. Maybe it's too extreme. Gonna stretch this a bit. This one as well. Oh, that was a bit too much. This one a bit more. Yeah, it was so funny today when I watched that Violet Evergarden movie. Because it's like out on Netflix at the moment. I forgot that I had mascara on. Like, there were a few scenes that made me, I tried not to cry, but they kind of made me cry. I tasted one of my tears and I was like, oh, this doesn't taste good. I had mascara all over my tissue. Bye-bye. Okay. It's the wrong one. Also, I was like, when I started using Live 2D for my model, I hope that if I get good enough in the future, maybe I would be able to rig for others as well confidently. Yeah, we'll see about that. Don't like the color. Screen. I actually was like thinking about making costumes for every season, but the seasons go by so fast. I don't think so. No. Maybe next year. I actually also need to recreate an original outfit for my character. Basically, it's a base one, since this one was just a faster go-to option because I really wanted to start streaming and I just wasn't happy with my outfits. So, yeah. I will see how that goes. Pink. Red. Okay. Ooh. Oh, hey. Scratch. Scratching is important. That's nice. It's actually crazy. Every day I see new VTubers on Twitter that I start to follow because their designs are just so pretty. And I also try to like check their follower base if they have like lower followers. Even if I don't watch people's streams that likely. Because a lot of people play games that I don't know. I might check in, but like I need to watch something that I can kind of relate to. Thank you. So I use. It's actually quite a journey that I went to start drawing my eyes like that. And I'm still changing things about it every now and then. Every time I see something that I kind of like, I try to adapt it into my art style. Darker. I mean, I always try to put a lot of effort in my eyes when I draw them. It's like, I'm an eye person. The first thing I tend to look at are eyes. Real life as well as drawings. Pretty eyes always get me. Oh, eggs. Noise. Proteins. I actually watched a video the other day. There was a guy boiling his eggs in a what is it called in English? How are those things called? Let me Google. Fuck, I need to use my phone for that. Blue, you creepy, stop it. Creeping my audience away. Don't scare my new friends. Go Google. Let me search the word. It's not a steamer. There's a word for it. That's that I don't remember the word. People use it a lot lately. It's a air fryer, an air fryer. Yes, air fryer. How someone boiled their eggs in an air fryer. But it's basically not boiling, it's cooking, but somehow it works. I was like, okay. People are crazy for air fryers these days. Can't talk. Four eggs are a lot. I even struggle to eat 2 eggs. Not an eggy person. They are fine, but they are definitely not my favorite food. It's a lot of eggs. But yeah. Nothing bad about some eggs. No, me neither. It's even when I see those Japanese Asian dishes, I mainly see it with Japanese dishes. Like, I love Asian food. Like, I like that food a lot. Flavor-wise, it's kind of my favorite. But whenever I see them crack a raw egg into their food and just eat it like that, I'm just like, please don't. I don't know, I could never. What a raw egg. I mean the consistency already of a raw egg. I don't want to put that in my mouth. I'm sorry. Yeah. Michelers. It's like a huge pile of snot or something. Ugh. Disgusting. Could never. So almost done. I mean, I told you that I gonna stream. You went downstairs after that even. After molesting me in my room. It's not... Oh. This one is not a straight little fella. Ah, I'm still on. Not important. Information left brain immediately. Here go the eyes. Eyes, eyes. Oh, so pretty. I love eyes. Ice, ice, baby. Now that I draw the most beautiful part about my picture, I'm gonna continue the line work. Boo-hoo. The pain. The pain is real. Eat so much. Remember when I started doing this in the past, I did those lines really, really carefully. Now I'm just like bam, bam, smack the black stuff in there. Need all the black stuff in my pictures. All the thickest lines. Thick like my thighs. You don't have a brain. Don't flatter yourself, please. Old house. Ah! No. The thing that you showed me? Is that that what you have to do? Oh, my voice. What's the other thing? Oh, my back. My grandma back. You have to ride. Ride what? message. And I don't know what you have to write. I mean, you can see it like this. In university, everything is voluntarily. The only issue is there are profs who actually check who delivers stuff. And depending on that, they might let you slip through on your exams later in case you miss a few points. That's how a lot of their grading system work. Like, if you do it, that's good for you. If you don't, that's your problem. But not everyone does that. There's a lot of profs who just really... the intention behind it is that you practice for yourself in case you have like a project instead of an exam later that you have to deliver. So if you don't practice, it's your own problem if you're too stupid to use whatever stuff that you're like supposed to practice. Like, I don't know your profs, so I can't tell how they work. I mean, yeah, correct more, and he's probably going to show them in class, and then he's going to talk about them like in front of everyone. That's at least how our prof used to do it, so that everyone can learn from each and everyone, basically, from each other. That's how they usually kind of do it. Oftentimes they even try not to show the names when they present it, so you don't get mocked or anything in case there are assholes that would do that. That's usually not really the case in university. But yeah. If you don't deliver like once or twice, it's fine, but you should do some stuff. Because they remember you if you actually do stuff. They remember you. They like you more if you do stuff. Probably one of the reasons why my 3D prof tolerates me while he's really mean towards others. Because I always try to deliver when he gives us anything. Because I feel guilty if I don't. Also think that there's like a lot of profs who actually tolerate you delivering it later on in case you have an actual good excuse, and they give you feedback regardless. There is some like that as well. Why is everything so not straight in this picture? Everything is kind of crooked, man. What the hell did I do when I draw those lines? What did I drink? By the way, my sexuality is disappointed in humanity. I am nothing. My sexuality does not exist. The screenshot that you sent me on WhatsApp earlier gave me an idea about a VTuber model that you could make. You could go more into the vintage steampunk kind of style and use that watch that you created. You could even give yourself a lemon head if you wanted to. Some lemon glasses. I don't know. Just gave me the idea, like you could use chains and stuff as well. Just Google steampunk, like steampunk is nice. I at least I think steampunk is nice. I like steampunk. Yeah, I'm gonna put lemonade into your horns. I mean, I still have my other laptop. If you ever want a model, I can rig it on there. I could draw you one as well, but I don't think you like my style that much. You would need to torture yourself looking at my art all the time. Hey! Do you want to see the full picture that I'm drawing right now by any chance, Miki? My other laptop? There you go. Guess who it is? Guess who it is? You spoiled yourself. Now it's not a surprise anymore. My other laptop, it might be able to handle Adobe to some degree. I don't know how heavy your projects will be, but it should be able to handle your first 2 semesters at least. Like, it handled my 3D program until a certain time. Just not until the 3rd semester. Don't cry! Why is everyone crying? First Leslie and now you. I make everyone cry with my art. At least they are happy tears. Shut up, you're crying inside. You're always crying inside. Cause you're an old British man. British man who drinks his tea upside down, eh? My sister never cries when I draw her something. She's always fangirling about other people drawing stuff for her, and then I draw something for her and she just looks at me stupid. It's very, very rude. She never fangirls for my art. Very depressing. Hey, bitch! Stop lying. Do you want me to prove evidence? Wait, I don't think I have evidence on this laptop. Fuck! Oh wait, I do. Here, look. This one was for you. You remember? Huh? Huh? I draw your character, your green-haired guy as well. I was willing to do a collab with you, but you said no. No fucking problem. What do you mean a year ago? Do you know how often I get pictures? The only person who ever gifts me anything self-made is my waifu. If I'm lucky. Shut up, bitch. You draw for me, yes, but that's like forever ago. And I still have those pictures on my thingy. Blue, wait. She's spamming too much. I didn't manage to read your message. Wait. The fuck is going on? Bitch. Ah! Fucked up my soup. Hey, Blue, you stupid bitch. I just... you're a piece of shit, you know that? My friends are fucking spoiled. I would draw for you guys, but there's not really anything I can draw for you. I offered Chess to draw him free stuff because he helps me a lot. I offered Zerg to draw free stuff because he helped me a lot with programming. I offered Nyan to draw stuff for him. I always offered, you guys just never give me any requests. It's not my fucking fault. What character? You mean your male one? You mean the cat? Oi, I'm being blamed right now. You little shitheads. You don't have any French girls, Rita. Come on. Yeah, that's typical. The people I insulted chat are people I know, so it's my friends and my little sister, so it's fine. They know I love them. Sorry, I had to meow at my cat because she was meowing at me. So cute, it is my heart. She looks at me and she goes meow. Well, you see, me and male characters, that's... I feel bad for all the male VTubers. Like, I follow a few because I like their design. Or because they seem to be nice purple people. I tried to draw them. And I had a mental breakdown. Drawing male characters gives me mental breakdowns. I'm so bad at it. It's so hard to draw them. I mean, I stated on Twitter that the next I'm drawing another gift for some other VTuber. I went for you and Leslie first because I talked to you two for a little bit, like not a lot, but I interacted with both of you to some extent. So it's like not so super random. The people that I will draw after this picture, I never or barely ever interacted with. It's just because I like their design and because they have a low follower base. And I'm just like, I know it makes people happy, so I do it. Because if they feel happy and they tell me about it, then my day is a lot better as well. Like, it's a win-win. They are happy, I'm happy. Kind gesture never hurts anyone, does it? Why is my Discord open? I did not open it. Lemon, what the fuck is that stupid ass face you sent me? Had to close it. No! Shrunk my screen. That's blue. Very, very beautiful. Can post it in my art channel on Discord. Will receive the gift. You can use it as profile picture better than his weird ass yeah. PG-18 profile pictures. I mean, me being super nice, I don't know, it's more like I said before, I don't really have anything special about me. I don't have any fancy ass talents. The only thing that I'm kind of good at is art. And that's because I've been doing it ever since I can think. Like, I've been practicing non-stop, kind of. I used to be bad as well, but it took me a few years to get here. And that's why I'm like, I don't know. I know so many people would love to draw. And if they could, they would. And then there's me who's like drawing every now and then because I struggle so much coming up with ideas. I can't draw unless I have a certain idea about poses and stuff. I admire those artists who just take their pen and they smash something on their canvas and it's looking beautiful, and I'm just there like, how the fuck did you do that, you fucking wizard? Bitch. Thank you. I mean, I'm not talking myself down. Yeah, I did that as well. It's not me talking myself down. I just know that there are a lot of things that I don't know how to do that yet. I'm really bad at drawing backgrounds, for example. Like, I try to, but I hardly ever did it, so I'm not really good at it, and it's like outside of my comfort zone because of that. I would love to be better at it, same with male characters, but it takes so much time. It took so many years for me to get where I am now. I'm not only talking about like buildings and shit. I also mean like, oops. I mean I can use brushes and make somewhat looking green backgrounds, but that doesn't mean that it looks good, because I don't really know how to do stuff properly yet. You can draw a tree. Yeah, that's you know what I got for that? I downloaded some branch brushes on clips so that I don't have to draw fucking trees by hand anymore. Because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Do you wanna see something, Lazuli? I actually I posted something on Twitter a while ago. I have a few characters that I created around 7 years ago. I came up with a story which was basically about a girl that possesses time-space traveling abilities but isn't aware of it. And I kind of started writing the story about it. I wrote down a lot of things that I want to happen in there. But the problem is I'm really bad at writing. So the story is kind of flat. The image in my head is a lot better, but what I have at the moment, I need to change to my mouse. 1 second. Need more slots in my laptop, man. Let me okay, so this is the main character, Pandora. This is a guy that basically comes from another world to take her on a journey. And this is a character my wife would design for me back then, and she's like the third one that is like going along on the journey. Basically, she has time-space powers, but she's not aware of it because she's just a normal girl. And I actually, forever ago, I don't remember if I posted them on Twitter, but I did. Let me open all of these. Those things 7 years ago, they look really cranky because look at that shit. Also, I used Google Translate back then, and my English was really bad. Those were like the first few pages. There's no text on here right now. That's supposed to be her dad. Looks way too young. Basically what happened here is that her mother died, and she discovered that her eye changes into gold with a clock in it, but she thinks that it's imagination. And last semester I had a project which involved creating your own world, and I was like, hey, I got a story already. Where is it? Wait. So why not take that story for my, this is a remake basically. I did those last year. This is what the comic kind of will look like. So like from right to left. Like I'm really proud of those pages. I will make a comic once I'm able to actually write that story. Once I'm able to. This is a guy, look at him, he's so cute. He looks so cute on here, like, look at him. I wish I could draw guys like this, like always. They are so adorable. I hate myself. Look at him. I'm simping for my own characters. But yeah, it's basically. He's so cute. I plan on drawing a manga thingy once I'm capable of doing that story. But at the moment, I wrote like, I don't know, 20 pages or something. I showed it to a few people, and asked them for feedback. And some of them gave me really useful feedback, basically telling me my story is not bad, but my characters are still pretty flat. Yeah, no, but let me show you. I like my male characters to look like males. Like my characters used to look really female. I don't even have that many pictures. Yeah, I wanted to look for a certain one, but this one. I drew this one for my wife, right? You see the difference between female and male. I draw the faces different, but somehow I'm unable to always draw them like this. Like, I struggle so fucking hard to get this stupid ass face shape right. And for girls, it's more like this. It's a bit too thick, but get the point. But yeah, also the eye is like... It's a huge difference, but it's so difficult for me to do. Like, some days I'm like, oh, they look so good. And other days I'm just like, yeah, oh, fuck this shit. I can't do this anymore. Last time I drew a guy, my little sister actually was in my room. And she fucking filmed me having a mental breakdown on my chair. Yeah. It's like... I'm gonna sound so not straight saying this, but... I mean, I don't know if I am, but... Anyways. Females are fun to draw to me because they have a lot of curves. I'm not just talking about the boobs and hips. They have like really... Take a girl. They have like those... cute faces, right? I need another brush for that. And they have like small necks. They have boobs. And then they have like hips. And then they have those really nice legs. Curvy and stuff. I like it. It's basically a girl, right? Really weird girl. And then there are guys, and I'm already like, need to make the face smaller so it looks more like a guy. And then they have like those white necks, and they do have those white shoulders, and they have like those nice collarbones. This looks so bad. Look at him. Oh yeah. And then they have like those no curves. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's so depressing. Like, I like this, not this. Yeah, your character is pretty flat, which is why I struggled so hard with like identifying it as male or female, because it could be a tomboy, or it could just be a girl that is like not looking that typical stereotype like a girl. But due to the clothes, I'm like, okay, it looks a little bit more than a girl, but it could be both, which I think fits you really well. But like, I tried to draw your model a bit more feminine because it looked cuter and it fits the the teeth. So I was like, yeah, I know. But I was so worried when I draw your character because I was like, I don't know. I don't want to insult people. I know that a lot of people feel like really strongly towards that, and I don't mean to be rude or anything. And I know a lot of people take it really close to heart, and I don't, I don't want to hurt people, not intentionally or I mean, or unintentionally, especially not unintentionally. So. I mean, I believe my waifu as well. She's like stating to be gender fluid or like non-binary, not gender fluid. So people can call her whatever they want. But I refer to her as a she because I mean that's how we got to know each other, and she never said anything against it. So I'm not used to it. It's like really strange because I don't have a lot of friends that like consider those things at all. Yeah, not everyone can have boing boing. You have a cute tooth. That's really good already. But yeah, I will make a manga at some point. I really wanted to start it this year actually because my last semester I didn't have that many projects, but I kind of finished them earlier. I passed almost all of my classes except for one. And I was like, okay, I was writing on my story whenever I had nothing else to do, but the problem was that I get stuck and I should pay more attention to world building and stuff and my characters, but it's like really difficult for me. Yes, they are the other person that I draw a gift for. The previous one I draw is theirs. Saw the design and instantly followed. And then I was like, okay, I'm new to Twitter, but I have to interact with people so I can make new friends, especially VTuber friends. Gotta support other people. And also like drawing other people gives me practice as well, since otherwise I probably wouldn't be drawing at all most of the time. I mean, sure, if you want to. Just gotta tell me what exactly you want. I'm hungry. Gonna have nice food today. I was actually considering that maybe, because we're gonna have dinner at some point, maybe I just gonna, quit the stream until I'm done eating, and maybe I'm gonna continue drawing after that. I don't know yet though. Might just... Maybe. Because I kind of wanna get far with... oopsie. This one. I wanted to finish the line art before streaming, but I didn't manage. I really wanted to do the coloring this time, but that failed. Okay, thank you. Makes me happy. It's actually that job interview I had today. They seemed to be quite happy about. They basically gave me 2 tasks I had to finish until the interview, and I mean I did, and they seemed to like it. And they were like, okay, they have to wait for a week, like consider where they put me, because they are basically full. They don't have space, but they consider taking me. The problem is they live like in a city, they are in a city, and I would need to go there every day, most likely, which is like a few €100 for the train ticket each month, like if I take a monthly student version. And I don't know if they pay me, because they don't have to pay me because I'm a student. It's an internship. It's not an actual... I mean, I have to work full-time and stuff, but they don't have to pay me. Legally, they don't have to. And it sucks, because if I have to go by train every day, it's going to be so expensive for me. Germany. I don't think if there is... I read somewhere on the internet that there are semester tickets, but apparently they have to be offered from the university. And as far as I'm concerned, mine does not offer them at all. You basically have to go to the train station and ask for a monthly one, which is also reduced in price, but it's still hella expensive if the... like, the university isn't that far away from here. If I take a monthly ticket for that place, I have to pay like almost €100. And the other place is like further away and it's like 200, 300. They increased the prices quite a bit. On top of that, all the rules with Corona stuff and all. I don't look forward to sitting on the train for hours every day, especially if I have to go back home and go there every day. I will need to get up early and I will come home pretty late, because I also have to take the subway to even get to the station. It's a pain in the ass, but I checked for apartment thingies for students. They are way more expensive than a monthly train ticket, which is why I'm like, do I pay like a certain amount each month and take the traveling back and forth every day? Or do I pay money for a place to stay at, which will cost me even more because I have to buy food, I have to wash my stuff, I have to pay for bills and everything. So basically, I should probably just take the ticket and die whenever I get home. Yeah. Also, the train times are fucking awful. Like, if you wanna get somewhere at 9 AM, you gotta take the train at 7 AM or something. It's ridiculous. And then you gotta get up at 6. Not nice. And work starts at 9, most likely. I mean, I don't know. It might be that they don't even take me. If they don't take me, I will check for more places to work at next semester. I just hope that they take me, because I don't want to sit around for an entire semester. Bugs me, personally. I like to get stuff done right away. I don't like, what's the word for it? I know it, but I don't remember it. You know, when you don't do stuff at right away. What is the word? I know the word, but I can't remember it. No, I don't. Yeah. I don't like doing that, because if I do that, I won't ever do it. I have to do my stuff the moment I can. Also, it's going to be a pain with the future semesters if I do that. The classes and all. I was actually thinking. That's also a reason why I made my own live 2D model. I was thinking about writing my bachelor thesis about live 2D models and using them instead of your real face and stuff like that. Oh, that's maybe a nice idea. Yeah. Don't do that. never. That's like, let's take this example. I usually work out 5 days a week for 45 minutes. For at least 2 weeks now, I work out for maybe 1 to 2 days a week for 45 minutes, which is a huge reduce, but it's just like I kind of don't feel motivated that much at the moment. And then that tiredness, like I feel like sleeping all the time. I try not to, but I feel like it. It's like I'm so sleepy all the time. Really bad. Like, another reason why I'm like, I kind of don't want to go find a place in the city to stay at, because I have my small cat that I take care of at home. Her name is Maple. And she's really attached to me because I raised her during Corona times. I have another cat, her name is Neko. It was an inside joke at the beginning, but then she just ended up being called Neko. I couldn't think of a name when I got her. And she has a heart disease and another one, which is why she gets pills every day and I'm the one giving them to her. And I'm worried that something might happen to her while I'm not there. Plus that people like forget to give her the stuff, medicine and shit. And get new ones once they run out. And on top of my 2 cats, there are 7 strays next doors, which wait for me every day because I feed them for over a year now. Maple's actually the baby of one of them, which I adopted because her sibling baby kitties died. Didn't want to lose her as well. Yeah. It's not my fault, but I blame myself for the kitten's death. It's heartbreaking. I was crying so bad when they vanished and when I found the corpse of one of them. Especially because Maple was like really close to that one kitty. But okay, can save everyone. That's... I don't want to leave because of all those responsibilities. Can't leave the poor things all on their own. And I don't want to like force my little sister or someone else to take care of them every day for like half a year just because I have to go work. I feel like that's too much to ask because I'm the one who continues doing it, so I don't know. Feels like it's my job to do it. Wish my 2 cats would get along, but I don't. Maple always wants to play with Neko, but Neko hates everyone. Well, every other cat. So she's like attacking her. I know, right? I mean, personally, I do English streams because I don't like speaking German. People are always shocked when I say that, but I really don't like that language. I hate speaking it so much. I don't know. English sounds kind of cool. Also, you have like more people capable of understanding you if you speak English. I mean, Neko has my old personality. She hates anything loud. She even runs away from bicycles. Literally. When she hears them. Neko is like little bitch. She wants to get petted and then she just slaps you. She likes boobs, like she's a boob cat. If you lay down She will lay on your chest. Or your thighs. Or your stomach. If you lay on your belly, she will lay on your butt. I mean, yeah, but if English people... Yeah, okay, I mean, I get what you mean. But for example, if people try to imitate German, I hate it. I mean, I hate my German accent. I wish I wouldn't have it when speaking English. I find German accents really unattractive. Like, not in a sexual sense, that as well, but generally. They don't sound cute to me. They sound cringy. That's just me. But yeah, okay. I mean, also, most of my friends are not German. I believe, like, one of the few friends that I have who is German, like, she's not even German, she's from Austria, but basically it's German because she speaks German, is my waifu. And that's utter coincidence that she is. Yeah, I know. It's really, really... I mean, German can sound really aggressive. It can. There are people who talk in a certain way. I had a prof who rolled the R in the really, really German way. The really aggressive one. Aggressive. I don't know. I can't do that. I couldn't listen to her because it was like that is hardcore German. Like, away. Also, the part I live in Germany, the way that they pronounce things, they sound like peasants. Like, German can sound okay, but it can also sound really bad, depending on where you are. The way people speak and stuff. Yeah, accent-wise. Some people have such a really disgusting accent. Like, there are really disgusting German accents. But I believe it's the same in English, but to me, the English accents just sound kind of funny, right? But like in German, there are like words that I do not dare put in my mouth because they are just so filthy. There's ways people talk that just sound so awful. Yeah, kind of me as well. As much as I can. I mean, obviously it's a mix because of where I grew up. I use a lot of words that are not like clean German. Wait, there's this word, you know, when you have like a splinter in your finger. I don't know what the normal word for splinter would be in German, but whenever I talk about splinters, I say Spreise. And everyone looks at me like, the fuck is that? I'm just like, it's a Spreise. They're like, where did you pick up that word? I thought that's the original word. I'm sorry, I did not know. But yeah. Oh, fuck. I believe my mother comes from the north part of Germany, so she speaks like more clean German. But we don't live there, so I do not speak that. Not fully. I mean, I try to keep it kind of clean, but there's always a little bit of slang. Oopsie. But I believe if I had like a really bad German slang, my English accent would be a lot worse. It depends. There are some words that just people use it, and I don't like those kind of people, so I don't use those words. Like those little stupid kids that use words without really knowing what the hell they mean, and you're just like, Oh, why is this so much work? By the way, I have a question. Are those hairs, those things, are those hairs? Or are those like, I don't know the English word right now. Those braided thingies? Ah, okay, it's hair. Okay. I wasn't sure when I was drawing it, so good to know. Gotta add strains to that later. Gute. Yeah, braided. I wasn't sure. I was thinking about it, but I rather ask while I have the opportunity. You just draw. Don't mention the raw egg. We talked about that earlier. It's nasty. Don't eat raw egg, please. It's like snot. It's nasty. Disgusting. Never understand. Like, I get it if you take a raw egg and you put it into something hot and then you stir it so the egg isn't like raw anymore. It's basically cooked to some degree. But I don't understand pouring a raw egg into something and then it just stays raw. That's fucking nasty. Blech. Blech. No, not good. I mean, I read somewhere that like, because a lot of people feel disgusted about the raw egg thingy, especially in like Japanese food, but apparently like Japanese eggs are supposed to be salmonella free because of the way that they store it or whatever else, and I'm just like, well, even if that's the case, I won't risk it. I don't want to sit on the toilet for the next few weeks. Yeah, it's not my kind of thing. At least cooked in to some degree. Personally, I don't even like really liquidy egg yolk. I find really liquidy egg yolk has a weird taste to it, which I don't like it. Has to be some kind of solid, like after the consistency after you burnt a candle and just blew it off, and it's like drying a bit. It's not liquidy, but it's also not solid. It's like something in between. Sushi is... I actually... Funny thing about sushi and me, when I was like, I don't know, 14? 12? I don't remember my age back then. I was pretty young still. I remember I had an internship in 6th grade or something. And I worked in the secretary of the office that my father worked at. They were drinking coffee at least 7 times a day. Yo, I'm telling you, I like coffee, but I prefer tea because my digestion system cannot handle coffee. The toilets were renovated. Every room, every hallway looked the same, and I was just desperate to find a fucking toilet. And while I was working there, my father my father used to take me out for dinner when we had breaks, and we went to Asian restaurants. And I literally forced myself to like sushi back then. And by now I love it, actually. Like, some sushis I don't like. I don't like the ones where there's just a slab of raw fish laying on top of rice. I like these, what are they called? They have a certain name. California rolls, I believe. They have like a lot of rice on the outside and sesame seeds. And if you don't like fish sushi, I recommend it with duck or chicken. They taste nice as well. Mm. I mean, honestly, I feel it depends on where you eat the sushi, actually. Like, I was, what the fuck is this? I ate it at, like, several places, and some, I agree, is so nasty. And there's, like, one place, I'm addicted to tuna, kind of. They have a tuna sushi, and the tuna they put on there literally melts in your mouth. You don't even feel the texture. The fish just melts in your mouth, and it's like, it's such a great sensation. I don't know. Fucking food porn. Yeah, it's really good. Like, one thing I always recommend to friends who say they don't like fish sushi, I'm always like, eat it with duck or chicken. It tastes great. Especially if it has some kind of spicy sauce or something on it as well. Look, it's delicious. And we're talking about food while I'm hungry. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, everyone just eat what you want and don't force yourself to like something just because of something. Like, one thing I always hate is when people are like, oh, I hate XY, and then they eat it because it's trendy or something. I'm just like, if you hate it, don't fucking eat it. What's the point? Like, if you don't like bubble tea, don't drink it. I can drink it, but I prefer the normal tea that I make. I made bubble tea a few times for my little sister already. She's a spoiled bitch, do you know that? She asks me for something and I literally make it for her. But yeah. Don't like something, don't drink it. Mommy? Mommy? He needs some milk! I mean, the thing with the boba pearls that our mother bought, I have to make them one day in advance, and I can't forget to do that all the time. And I'm too lazy to make my own pearls. What we gonna eat today? I know my she has there will be, I believe, some sweet potato stew thingy and something with mushrooms and tofu. So Asian food. It will be Asian food today. Actually, it's quite funny. I believe boba drinks were appearing in Germany several years ago, like almost 10 years ago, I believe. I tried it back then. There are like two different types of boba pearls. They are they are chewy, kind of like mochi, but like more chewy. And then there's another kind of boba pearl. If you bite on it, it literally splashes in your mouth. It feels like you're eating a maggot or something. That's what I imagine eating maggots is like. Those are fucking nasty. Nasty. But also, I believe, like, at some point they stopped selling those bobas in Germany because children literally choked on those balls. It sounds so wrong, but they did. Which is why I'm surprised that now the boba stores are everywhere again in Germany. Because if I remember correctly, they were kind of closed because of that exact reason that you just mentioned. Because it can happen that they accidentally kind of like just go. The exploding ones are fucking disgusting. I tried them. I had them. They gross me out. What? I'm almost done with the line art. Hail, hail. This is great. Ah! Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Yeah, it's not nice. I like the chewy ones more because they kind of remind me of mochi, and I love mochi. I love mochis and dangos. They are so delicious. I love the texture. I'm addicted. Yeah, I read about that. I was like, why are those eggs? I love those eggs. I actually, I don't like sweet stuff. Like, I can eat it to some extent, but I don't like eating sweet stuff. I prefer salty by a lot. But those eggs somehow, like, in general, that kind of chocolate with the, I don't know, that kind of chocolate just. I like it. I don't, like, America makes no sense in some kind of things. Like, you sell guns at your local Walmart, but you're not allowed to buy eggs with toys inside. I never ate raw broccoli. I never did. I mean, yeah, it depends. Like, for me, I personally, bell peppers, for example. I love to eat them as snacks, like raw and crunchy and juicy, but I don't like them that much when they are warm. Similar with tomatoes. I like eating them, but not warm, because they get really weird. And also I feel like they kind of ruin the flavor sometimes. It's the same with berries in my case. I don't really like warm berries. They tend to get kind of sour. Like, they have a weird... If you take blueberries, for example, you warm them up, they have like this weird taste to them. I hate it. I hate that taste. I don't know what it is, but I really don't like it. It's weird. Oh, can you see the difference between the lines? Thick and thin. Yay! Baby! No! Fuck. Let's see. I was actually thinking, like, if I had the time for it, I would probably do more art streams, but the problem is I also want to play games. If I don't play them for too long, I will forget how to play them. It's gonna be a pain to watch me. I should do this up here. Meat on salad tastes delicious though. I once made a salad and I seared some beef and then I put it on the salad and it was so good. Like, I don't even know why, but it was so good. But I don't do that very often. Also because making salads is a pain in the ass. Because of washing it and then sorting out the ugly leaves that don't look like crunchy, they look floppy. Like when you have a soggy, smushy blueberry, they are disgusting. Ah! Welcome to my stream, where we talk about cooking and food. I was actually thinking maybe one day when I have my own place, who knows how many years that will take me. Maybe one day I'm gonna do cooking streams. They're gonna take forever because I'm a slow cooked person. It takes so long. I'm gonna cry if... Most likely I'm gonna do a second stream after this one. In case I have to take a break for dinner. I wanna continue drawing. Don't wanna quit yet. Ah. mean, understandable, but it is important. Gotta eat those veggies. At least to some extent. I mean, I guess I kind of, for my family, our father was always gone on business trips. Like, from what I remember at least. He wasn't there a lot, but our mother stayed home because he made enough money and she took care of us. So I had that luxury kind of that she tried to make us food daily. She would force us to eat broccoli. I remember my little sister refused to eat broccoli. She's not that much younger than me, but like, still. I kind of, the way that I taught her to eat broccoli, I was basically, does your hand right? How did I do that? You basically take your middle finger and then those fingers and you make a little dinosaur. And then you have the broccoli. And then I told her the dinosaur eats the leaf. And then comes the T-Rex, which was basically just like this. And the T-Rex eats the trunk. And at some point she started to eat broccoli. Very, very proud sister skills. Did not expect that to work actually, but it did. Oh. But honestly, yeah, why would a lemon eat a brock? Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that most of the time our mother is cooking, like sometimes she doesn't, then we make something on our own. We wouldn't eat that many vegetables either, probably. Like I try to include them if I cook something, but there is usually not that much. And I know that's not, I should change that. Should eat more veggies. They are important for your digestive system. Make those gut bacteria happy. Ah! I mean, it depends. As long as it's not cabbage, I hate cabbage. So keep that stuff away from me. Shut up. You don't have any veggies. Flat-chested lemon. Doesn't even have melons to offer. Not flat enough. Just take the sports bra. I'm gonna be flat enough. It's the same kind of with like, you're supposed to eat a certain amount of fish. I don't really like fish. Like, I like canned tuna. But that's not the healthiest version. Salmon I can only eat a certain amount of before I start to gag. Same with most other seafood. I start to gag at some point if I eat a lot of it. You're like supposed to eat a certain amount and I'm just there like, I can't. My body won't let me. There's no point in eating if I end up throwing it up, right? put it in the laundry. I mean, you're in the city every day, you can buy a new one. I wanted to buy one, but you remember what happened when I tried that sports bra on? Didn't end well. It was very sad and depressing because it looked so cute. Like, finally you can have a sports bra to work out in. Oh, okay, never mind. Never said that. Why am I so slow? Nah. Medium is premium. Blood is justice. Opai is a lie. The moment when I get confused from my own lines. So many VTubers I wanna draw. So little time. Because I'm so slow at it. And then there's people who draw like 10 pictures in a week and I'm just there like, what the fuck? I barely finished one. How did you do that? People like you, I mean, you don't count. Because you draw in a way that is like, you don't even really shade or anything. You just colorate, kind of, and put a gradient in it or something. I mean, like those people that draw like pretty detail and they draw like 5 pictures in a week or something, and I'm struggling to draw one. Like, I've been drawing and uploading stuff online for at least 10 years now. And I haven't gotten anywhere, which is most likely because I suck at drawing all the time. I just can't do it. Did I finish? Am I done with the outline? Oh, please tell me yes. I mean, fuck, wait. No, it's the wrong one. Almost. Not completely, but almost. Just a little bit more. Oh. This is actually another reason why I draw the characters of both of you first, because you have some kind of description about your character. Falasuri being it that she loves the sea. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do some splish splash in the background. And with yours being that she found light in the darkness. And I was like, hey, I can do something with that. Gives me some ideas of what I could draw. Like, I'm better when I'm being told what kind of something a person wants in their picture. It helps me a lot, like, literally. If I just get a character sheet and I like it, I'm just unsure how to draw it. Because, in my opinion, a picture should kind of reflect the character it is showing. Like, imagine your character is like super shy or something, and I end up drawing them super cheeky. It doesn't fit, you know? Oh wait, no, wait. What is it? Oh, that's that. Ah, okay. That line is what bugs me. It's also why if I draw fan art, I usually draw fan art of characters that I watched the show of or anything, so I can try and add something of their characteristic, you know. Which is also a reason why I don't draw that much. I really need some good ideas about what I'm drawing. Which is probably why I enjoy drawing my own characters so much from my story, that I often really want to draw scenes that I know will happen in my story. But I don't, because I don't want to spoiler too much. I mean, I do to some degree, but I don't want to spoiler people too much with my pictures in case they should be interested in my story later on. So yeah. Those small details help a lot, like really. They give me some idea of what I could draw. So it's not just some random picture, but actually reflects something of that character. Okay. Can close this one. Oh yeah, my back is killing me. My grandma back. I mean, the happy part is all that matters. But I'm still like, I wanna put effort into it. Like, take the Rick 2D model I made for my wife as example. She didn't reveal much than her face yet. But I actually put so many little details into her model that I believe most people won't even realize are there. Because even if others don't realize it, it's important to me. I'm so annoyed if I don't add those details. Pisses me off personally, so I have to do it. Like, for the next time that I like redesign mine, like give her a new costume, I will add so many more details as well that I compared to what I did now. Like, my current one is kept rather simple because it was my first one and I didn't want to overdo it too much. Since I was still kind of learning how to do things, I messed up so much. I had to redo so many things so many times. But it turned out quite alright for the first time, in my opinion. But okay, I had time for it, so. Sleep well, thank you. Really hope you can find a job that offers you normal work times at some point. Is this supposed to... I'm just gonna... Maybe I will try to finish this picture today, even if I have to stay up all night. But I don't know if that will be a good idea. I mean, I can nap during the day tomorrow. Since I don't know about work yet on my part, there's not really any stress on me at the moment. Just have to get up at before 8 AM so I can feed the strays. And my kitties as well. Then do whatever else I have to do. No? It's not forcing, it's just that I kind of just really want to draw. And I want to do this on stream, like... I was thinking about not streaming any games this week, but then I was like, I kind of want to play games as well. Not only draw. So. Like, I held back drawing for... because I want to do it on stream. Also, I think like even if not a lot of people are like interested in watching me fill out colors and stuff, it's a nice thing when you kind of just want to chill, in my opinion. Like personally, I enjoy watching speed paints and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. But we'll see how my body takes it. Maybe I get too tired. Yeah, I used to do them, but I stopped because I wouldn't know what kind of music to put in there. Also, I don't have the stamina anymore to... Many years ago, I used to finish a picture within a day. I don't have the stamina for that anymore. Like, sketching alone already takes me like 1 to 3 hours most of the time by now. Outline, same thing. I mean, how long am I streaming? 2 hours now, and I started the outlines before stream already today. So, yeah, it would probably be 3 hours as well. Then I have to fill in all the colors, and colorating takes a lot of time as well in the end. In the past, it would have been like 7 hours for me to finish a picture, but it increased by a lot in the past 2 years. Can't draw that fast anymore. I'm a grandma. I'm a grandma now. So much of a grandma that I forget my own age all the time. Literally. What? Like, I think A few times I watch like Ina's stream from Hololive, like your art streams a few times. And I believe she finishes most of her pictures within the time that she's streaming, and I'm just like, people are sick. They are so fast that I'm such a snail. I'm snail speed. Probably also because I put too much mind to what I'm doing sometimes. Where did I? Okay. No? Missed the outline. Oh, okay. There's a hole. Fill in stuff. But okay. It's probably also on my part because I don't draw that much anymore. So I take longer logically. Mixings. Also because I refuse to upload pictures until I'm more or less certain that I didn't forget anything, and sometimes I still forget something. Ay, 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 ay. You try so hard to do it perfectly, but it never succeeds. I can actually just go swoosh. No, I can't go swoosh. Where's the hole? I wanna be a cowboy, baby. Let's see the hole. Okay. Just so I can blend the eyes in. Oh, my eyebrow is twitching. Thank you. I always try. Eyes are like my favorite part to draw. Like literally. I love drawing them. It's the most fun. I believe I put more effort in the eyes than I put them into anything else. Because if I like a way that an artist draws eyes, I tend to follow them a lot more likely. Because it's like, I don't know, like the way that I draw eyes is an inspiration of so many artists that I admire. My entire art style is kind of more or less. Oopsie. I mean, the way I shade was actually inspired by watercolors, but it doesn't look anything like watercolors. It's just kind of what inspired me to shade in that weird random way. Mm-hmm. It's like, to be honest, if I were to choose an artist for my model, I wouldn't be able to decide because there are so many artists that I would be like, oh yeah, I would love to have a model in their style. But you have to decide at some point which artist suits the kind of character you want the most. Like, there are some artists who are better at drawing like lolly characters, and there are some artists who are like amazing at drawing adult characters and so on. It's like another criteria in my eyes. Or like some are really good at drawing males, others are really good at drawing females, and so on. And I mean, there are some artists I follow as well on Twitter who draw eyes very simple, but they draw them in a way that still looks so goddamn gorgeous. Like, you have to look at them. Even if they look rather simple compared to others. Like with mine sometimes, with female eyes it's kind of fine because of their size. They are usually a bit bigger. But if I draw my male eyes, for example, I don't make them that sparkly because... that's the wrong pen. Tends to look overcrowded. Too many things going on. The eyes are so small, the irises. Gotta do less in there. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. I mean, one artist that is like a mangaka actually, who inspired me a lot when it comes to drawing females. I found out recently that he made a Twitter, so I followed him. I don't like the stories, at least the ones that I read of his. He's like a really edgy-ish, lot of edgy going on in his stories. I'm not a fan of like harem stuff. But the way that he draws girls, goddamn, I love it. Like, that inspired me a lot when I wasn't able to draw the way I do right now. I used to kind of try to redraw his artworks and redraw his art style, which taught me a lot. He's the mangaka of To Lafuru or Love Trouble. I believe people saw something of that anime, or Black Cat as well. I love the way that he draws females, for example. They look so gentle in his art style. Yeah, it's not a genre that I like. Especially because, out of own experience, there are some guys who take that shit too literally. And think that it applies to them in real life as well, and they can do whatever the fuck they want because, you know, gonna have their own harem and shit. I'm just like, orange hair suits you. Yeah, I don't. As a female who had to go through shit, I don't like that genre at all. It makes me uncomfortable. There's too many idiots in this world who take this shit too personally, literally. But yeah, his art styles, I literally read his mangas just because of his art style. Taught me so much, just from redrawing his stuff and learning from it. Like, I still admire it. I'm nowhere near to the way that he draws females, but I'm quite happy with how I draw them. Also, I'm trying to like put a little bit of variety into them. Some have bigger boobs, some have smaller boobs, some have less curves and so on. So I don't get stuck with like the same face syndrome and so on too badly. Like, obviously I'm not gonna draw some weirdest noses and shit. But when it comes to faces and bodies, I like to change it up a little bit. I mean, one thing that I plan to do with my model She has like blonde pinkish hair at the moment, like a ombre in it. I plan to, for the different designs, if I make like themes of them. I plan to change the hair color. For example, if I make a winter theme, I'm gonna give her like really, really white hair, kind of. Maybe even change her eye color. I mean, yeah, I just... For Live 2D models, I need to consider the pricing, because I'm not sure how I should price that stuff yet. That way you have like... I mean, some things like the way your eyes are shaped and stuff should be the same. So people still recognize your model. If it looks completely different, you can also just make a new model, you know? But I want to have like different themes to it that like give a different atmosphere, kind of. Like I'm planning of posting my scrapped costume and stuff. Like I drew a complete model before the one that I have right now, but I scrapped it because I wasn't happy with the costume. I redrew it, most of it, from the body at least. Like the face obviously stayed the same. It's a different hairstyle and stuff like that as well. My old one had like open hair open. With this one, I wanted to have like a different hairstyle, just because. Originally, her hair is open, but yeah. Yeah, money is... Those things are hella expensive. That's another reason why I wanted to learn it for myself. Because I can't afford it. And I mean, there are so many tutorials out there by now. Like, I would love to explain Live 2D to people. The thing is, the way that I understand things, I'm not really sure if I can explain it. Oopsie. Because, like, to me it was rather easy because I worked with some programs which had similar options, kind of. I animated before in other programs, like Adobe. It's a similar system, so if you understand that, you understand Live 2D, kind of. And for anything you don't understand, there's most likely a tutorial out there by now. It's like not that hard anymore, actually. The hard part is like, if you can't draw, you still have to buy the model. Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, you can still rig with the free version. The only big difference is, you know how... take my model as example. I have a lot of different mouth shapes, for example. Or my hair movement. There is... I don't know if you know what a parameter is. But basically you have... Let's call it... It's different sets of animations that you use. Let's say you have an animation which moves the hair from left to right. And then you have one from up and down. Okay. And to add some volume to it, you add a little bit of squishiness. And basically that's 3 parameters, 3 animations. Depending on how you make it, it could be 6. So it would be even more detailed. And the problem with that is, in the free version, you can only add 3 parameters to each object, I believe. Which is why a lot of people who use it for free, their models look a little bit stiff. Like, let me check on 1 second. Let me remove this. Oh, what the hell? Need to unlock her. You see, there's like a lot of movement going on. I have different movement, like for my breasts already. I have oopsie, left, right, up, down, and then there's a third one which basically squishes them together. Oh, for the eyes, there's like a lot of different movements and stuff. The problem with that is simply that if you use the free version, you can't make your model look so fluently. It doesn't work. It looks a lot more stiff. It's like, that's like one of the main problems about it. I mean, you can still do quite some stuff with it. It's gonna look a bit more stiff. But other than that, you can still practice with the free version. There is no problem with that. You just can't use as many parameters in one object thingy. Yeah, it basically tells you even when you have the premium version or the test version, if you start to add more than 3 parameters to one animation, basically. It will tell you if you put more than 3, it will start to get complicated. I believe in the free one, it won't even let you add more than 3. Like that's one big downside. There's some other stuff as well, but that like it's like one of those things that I recall the most, because having more animations in one object makes it look a lot more bouncy and whatever you want it to look like. It's like, yeah. There's probably some physics rules as well that you can't apply so many physics. Like I have a shit ton of physics, especially if my wife at some point reveals her entire model. You will see that I added so many animations to her. Like, so many. If you pay close attention to it. Her eyes, her pupil is literally moving a little bit when she's moving her eyes. The stars in her eyes are moving as well. So it looks like a night sky. The lights in the eyes are moving. The iris on its own is moving. There's like a lot going on. And you simply can't do that with the free version. Should. I mean, you can always practice with it, it's just... It's limited. The thing that is I basically did before I made my model, I watched a bunch of tutorials on the tools that I have. So I kind of knew what tools they have. Like they have, basically you can just... Let me demonstrate with Clip Studio. Wait, Clip Studio has actually a tool that is very similar. Give me a second. Oh, fuck, did not. So basically, let's say you have, give me some, come on, Clip, come on. It's too small. Need a bigger flower. Come on, give me something big. Is this big enough? Okay, let's take this. You have this flower, basically. If this was in Live 2D, you have the basic thing of you can just do this deforming thingy. You can just scale it. And the thing that people use a lot is this magical object. This is something that is also in Live to do, which gives you a lot of power to make things look more 3D. Like now it looks like it's you look like from top. I do it the other way around. Well, did not mean to pull you around. Do it the other way around, and I cannot click this stupid thing down there. It's getting wider on the bottom, smaller on the top. That's one thing that is like in Live 2D that I used a lot. Like, you use that one a lot. And then there is another tool which basically not a good color. You can set dots and it will put a line through it. And this basically allows you to like pull the dots, and then you can I can demonstrate it here, but I need to. Oh, wrong button. This is really hard to do with this, but it basically lets you, for example, create a curve like this. You use that for eyebrows and your eyelashes, for example, and mouth as well. Yes, exactly. Like that one you use a lot. You can use it for hair as well. And then there's like also the things that kind of that basically a circle with like this pin in there. And basically what this thing does, if you edited a strand of hair, it's, for example, it's I have that in my, you put that in your neck, and I have that in my hair strands, and not the buns but the thing below. And it basically lets you turn on the pivot point. Those are like some of the tools that you mainly use when you use rig your model. And the other thing that is like important about is the hierarchy, the way you assemble your parts, because that's something I really messed up on my model, because it was my first one and I didn't really know how to do that yet. So mine is really messy. Any professional Live 2D artist would murder me if they saw my Live 2D file. Like, it matters. For every movement, for every animation, you are supposed to make a new animation so that it doesn't get fucked up. And she will debut. I mean, she doesn't want to stream yet. She's most likely doing pre-made YouTube videos for the beginning, because she also misses a lot of streaming equipment. But she will most likely reveal her model at the end of this year. At least she plans to. Talk a little bit about herself and stuff. But that will be a pre-made video, so you won't miss any debut stream or anything. But yeah. I will most likely retweet it the moment I see it. But that's what she told me. But I believe she posted it on Twitter as well, that she is working on stuff at the moment, layouts and everything, I believe. I don't know, but I guess she doesn't tell me that much either. I guess she wants to surprise me as well. But I think she plans to reveal stuff this year. If not, then early next year probably. I mean, I'm really excited to see the model move alongside her and her voice. Besides just seeing the head, which she already posted plenty of videos on Twitter. But yeah, I'm excited for that, because I put so much work into her model. Because it's so detailed, kind of. Not that detailed actually, but it is more detailed than mine. Especially with the starry sky theme going on. Which already gives it a lot more detail. I actually unintentionally kind of made her dance, because I tried to give her really cute movements when she's like looking around. Excited for her to show that off. I mean, I'm still a rookie basically when it comes to Live 2D. I'm just trying around and doing what I think looks good. But there are a lot of things that I don't know how to do, which I see a lot of people like use on their models. And I aspire to like get better on that as well in the future. I remember when I rigged her model, I was constantly filming it with my phone and having some music in the background. I was updating her all the time. I believe I was more excited to rig her model than I was to rig mine. Because whenever I do something for someone else, especially when it's her, because she's like really important to me, I want it to be perfect. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I kind of forced her to let me do it. She partly wanted to do it herself, but I insisted to do it for her. I kept asking her all the time. At some point I started making my model and I spammed her with like videos of how I made mine. And then I was like, give me your PSD file, give it to me. I must use it to create your model. There is no way to resist. And I got the way that I wanted. I made her model. I bribed her. Like, she kept telling me, I wanna try learning it and stuff, and I was like, I'm totally into it right now. I got the free version, give me your fucking PSD file, I'm gonna do it for you because I wanna learn it. Plus, I just really like doing things for her, so yeah. I spoil my friends. Even more so when I know that. Ah! What did I do? Where's there's. If I know someone isn't really in a good place right now, I like for example with Lasuri, a while before, like when I was already drawing on her picture, she didn't seem to do very well, and I wanted to actually finish it earlier because of that, but I couldn't manage to finish it that fast. It's like if I see someone isn't happy at the moment and I'm working on something for them already, I try to like end it over faster. Because I know how much something small can impact your day. Exactly. There is no no. No is not an answer. Bye bye orange hair. It looks so great to me right now because of the orange. Got pretty pink skin right there. Gonna be an orange skin for a second. Trying not to make it political. Smaller. No more ginger. Yeah. Now it's a ginger skin because I have to see what I'm coloring. It's really pink, yeah. I tend to go for a pretty orangish color when I like really pale orangish, but kind of when I colorate my skins. But I try to stay true to the colors that people use. They end up looking kind of different anyways the moment I shade them, so. I guess I did. It's funny how when I have art streams I don't DC, but when I have actual streams I fucking DC 10 times in a row. I hate my life. I mean, I doubt people are like actually rewatching all my streams, but you never know. And if they do, I want them to have the entire video and not some cuts in it that ruin everything. Some Michael Jackson music in the background. It's really good that this is a stream. I tend to make really random sounds when I'm talking to myself usually. Makes people question my sanity all the time. I do that all the time when I'm either bored or I'm actually in a good mood. If it's hard to say which mood I'm on. I always make weird sounds and people just look at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Everything is wrong with me. Started the day I was born. Let me be lazy. Ah. Not quite perfect, but it is alright. Why are you not in the correct folder? God damn it. Cute. Ha. Got to erase a little. That's better. That's better. That finger in that background. What is this? It's a pedal. It's like actually really sad. I wanna draw male VTubers as well, but my mental breakdown. It's killing me. Killing me hard. And I don't want to draw them as females. Even if some of them are okay with it, I'm just like... I don't want to. It's just that. Some days I can draw males, but most of the time I can't. It's really weird. Jeez, how pretty. I actually feel bad. There are a few male VTubers that I follow because I intend to draw them. But whenever I try to, I just kind of get angry. Because I fuck up all the time. Like, it's so hard for me to judge my male proportions. They just look stiff in my eyes whenever I draw them. The face always looks wrong to me. Their neck is so fat. Oh yeah. It's more like it depends on what you're used to, I believe. Because I'm sorry. I can't do this. It's better. My waifu, for example, used to be really bad at drawing females. By now she draws them very well. Like, her females look really good. She used to be always pretty good at drawing males, but she used to be so bad at drawing females. my case, it's just I used to never draw guys, which is why I'm so bad at it. I don't have a lot of practice in it. Like, if I... Sometimes, when I have like a streak where I draw them a lot, they kind of look good. Like, I had a time where I draw like several guys in a row, mainly from my story, but still. And they look good, to me at least. And then there are times where I draw them and they just look like utter garbage to me. And if I hate it, I can't finish the picture, because if I hate it, I won't give it to the person it is meant for. Like, I remember I drew a friend once, like in my style, and I was so ashamed of the picture. I hated it so much, but I wanted to give it to him anyways, which I did. But I was so ashamed when I did, because I disliked it so goddamn much. Really. Yeah, there's both kind of people. And then there is those monsters who are good at both all the time. They exist as well. One day I will be able to draw a handsome young man. Not young. I tend to draw my guys in like in their 20s by now. Ah, I forgot my character can't wink anymore because I synchronized the eyes. Glad you like it. Really small. Swear, I've gotten so bad at like drawing on paper because of the flip canvas option you have digitally. Makes your life so much easier. Can't even remember the times anymore when I used to be good on drawing on paper. I mean, it depends at some point. I mean, there are people, which is so stupid. Whenever I hear people say that digital drawing is not art because it is too easy and you have everything given to you. Just because you find a cool brush does not mean that you will instantly be able to draw amazing pictures. Like, that's not how shit works, guys. Digital art on its own is very difficult still. Like, it takes time to get used to it, yeah. I understand, like, a lot of people, like, drawing on paper also has its perks. I just personally found that I like it a lot more on computer. Because I have every color I want. I don't need to pay a shit ton of money for pens. My images don't pale out after time because the color is getting faded out by the sun. I don't accidentally crush my paper while erasing. I don't have stupid lines on there when I erased. There are so many things that I hate about painting on paper. That's why I just really enjoy drawing on computer right now. Okay. But I must say there are a lot of artists who have a really cool art style and they draw on paper. Forgot the word. Like, I believe one of the first artists that inspired my current art style was someone who used watercolors. Actual watercolors. I don't know their name anymore because it was, I don't know, someone on DeviantArt. Don't even know if their account still exists. It's so long ago. Just saw it one day and I was like, hey, that's so cool. Those are like things you can't really do digitally. Because those people have no fucking idea what it's like to draw on computer, honestly. Anyone who starts drawing on a computer and draw on paper before will struggle so hard. Like, these days it's getting easier because of the kind of tablets you have. Like, my tablet, oh god, which year? Let me check. Does it say anything? Any year? No, I guess not. But my tablet is like fucking ancient. That thing is almost 10 years old. Where did that dot come? And it's basically that kind of tablet. Using it is so fucking hard at the beginning because I'm staring at my screen while I'm drawing on a tablet, which I don't look at. And I remember when I got this tablet, I struggled so hard with drawing because of that. Like my little sister, for example, she got a tablet which she hooks onto her laptop, but she looks at the tablet, not at the laptop, PC screen, whatever. Which is so much easier because it feels more like drawing on paper. Like, that's already one thing that is so difficult if you can't afford one of those fancy ass screen tablets. So hard to not look at where you're drawing at. It takes some time to get used to it. Yeah, I know. But even now you struggle when you ever use mine because it's just so weird. It's just kind of odd if you're used to the new ones. Like, really. Both things take a lot of experience at some point. Neither is something that you just learn overnight. That's not how it works. Also, like, you see so many amazing artists who draw digitally, but it's actually pretty hard to get on their level because most of them have years of experience. It's like looking at a canvas of some, I don't know, really amazing artist who knows how to work with brushes or, I don't know, pens and Copics and so on. Just because you buy Copics doesn't mean that you will be able to harvest those skills. It takes time, and it's the same for digital art. Not just snip with your fingers and suddenly you create masterpieces just because you have pixels. Yeah, the cables, but I prefer cables over wireless because I prefer being able to switch out the cables versus having to buy a new product because with cables are fucked. That's just me. I know most people prefer wireless by now, but I like to stay with my wires. Like, I tried a wireless mouse before. Fucking hated it. That shit is broken now. Meanwhile, my not wireless mouse still works after how many years of usage? After falling down how many times? It still works. My wireless one is fucked. And it's around the same age. But okay. Everyone got their preferences. Everyone, whatever the fuck they want. Oh. Yeah, that as well. Also really fucking up. Stupid battery dying in the middle of a PvP fight. Back then when I still played MMORPGs. When I had no life at all. Damn it. Those people have no idea. Give them a tablet and they will fucking cry, for God crying out loud, eh? They won't survive the digital art horrors. The best thing is it's those kind of people that complain about that, but their art is made out of you know, when you put a picture you want to draw on a window and you put the paper on top and then you just trace it. That's the kind of people that complain about that kind of shit. I mean, I'm not saying everyone who plays MMORPGs has no life, but I literally played those fucking games, like that game, every day for at least 3 years, if not more. Looking back now, that was a waste of time. Okay. It happened. Gestern. Oh ja, ja. I mean, it wasn't because I enjoyed the game, I just literally had nothing else to do. It was the only reason why I played it all the time. Every day. Got home after school, I played it. Didn't know what to do, I played it. The worst part is I literally played it all day long, kind of. Then I believe I quit this year or last year, I don't remember which one, but I quit. I was sick of that shit. The game got so boring. There was nothing new to it anymore. Do the tips of your hair have any special color? Or is it just the same color? They're the same color. Shut up, Rita. Yes, I'm talking about that game. Which other game could I possibly be talking about? Ah, that's what I was idea. Over a year ago already? Oh gee, really? It feels like I played that game not too long ago. Oh. I mean, I kind of quit because it just got so boring. And tell me that game is boring. Even Blue isn't really playing it anymore, and he's a no-liver. That he's playing other stupid games now. Is he even playing Arcade anymore, like actually playing it, or is he just like logging in casually every now and then? I need a back massage, man. Gonna be stiff tomorrow. Yeah, he's barely on, right? Thought so. It's funny how people tend to compliment the way I colorate my hair digitally. Not talking about my actual hair color. The way I colorate the hair. Yet colorating the hair is the thing I look forward to the least because it's so much work. It takes so long. Especially long hair. Fucking pain in my ass. Sometimes I see artists who have a really simple style and I'm like, man, looks so nice. Why do I have to make things so complicated? And I don't even make them that complicated. There are people who make it way worse than me. Food? Oh, very sad. I just got a message. Okay. A little bit bigger. Oh. Jesus Christ. I'm stiff. Ow, he hit my headset. Stupid switch me the headset. Yoo-hoo. Who's coming in your room? Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Me? Why should I come into your room? Okay, so basically I will pause my stream for now. I will continue after dinner and see how far I get. So in case you wanna come back, still awake by then, see you then, and yeah, well, thanks for the time for now. It was nice talking to people. Okay. See you later in like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes or something. I will edit, announce it on Twitter and my Discord. Okay.